Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Rex Rogosh, and let's clear up the worldview. French President Macron sues Candace Owens over accusations of trans wife. French President Emmanuel Macron and First Lady Brigitte Macron are fighting back, this time in an American courtroom. The couple has filed a defamation lawsuit in Delaware's Superior Court against U.S. right-wing commentator Candace Owens. They allege Owens launched what they called a campaign of global humiliation by falsely claiming that Brigitte Macron, age 72, is a transgender woman and that President Macron, 47, is part of a CIA mind control experiment. The 218-page complaint accuses Owens of using her massive online presence, including her podcast and social media platforms, to spread knowingly false and transphobic conspiracy theories for profit. The lawsuit demands both compensatory and punitive damages and requests a jury trial. At the heart of the lawsuit is Owens' 8-part YouTube series, Becoming Brigitte. In the video, Owens claims that Brigitte was assigned male at birth and given the name Jean-Michel Troyou, and Owens also alleges the Macrons are blood relatives and that President Macron is a product of the CIA's discredited MK-Ultra human experimentation program. The lawsuit calls these claims invasive, dehumanizing, and deeply unjust. Attorney Thomas Clare, representing the Macrons, told the Financial Times that the couple is ready to travel to Delaware to testify as they believe it's important to stand up for themselves. Clare says the Owens had multiple opportunities to do the right thing, but she has only mocked them. The Macron's legal team also revealed that Owens ignored multiple cease and desist letters. The lawsuit filing reads, quote, Owens has dissected their appearance, their marriage, their friends, their family, and their personal history, twisting it all into grotesque narrative designed to inflame and degrade, end quote. Owens, who has a history of spreading misinformation about transgender and LGBTQ communities, has not formally responded in court but said she would address the lawsuits on her podcast. This isn't Brigitte Macron's first time in court over false transphobic claims. Last year, a French court briefly ruled in her favor, awarding her nearly $9,000 in damages, but the decision was later overturned. So, I have two sides to this. One, it's none of your business, woman, period. I mean, yes, they are people, figureheads, and unfortunately their business is public, but it's none of your business, woman. So why are you doing this? You know, do you have nothing better to do? Obviously not. Now, I'm glad the Macrons have stood up. They've taken her to court. So, you know, we'll see what the justice system prevails, especially, unfortunately, here in the United States, with our current justice system, you know, and how that goes. However, it doesn't matter if she's transgender or not. No. Does that affect how her husband or her do and go about their public or governmental business? No. So mind your business, woman.
It all just seems very, I agree with everything that you're saying. It doesn't matter whether or not Brigitte is transgendered or not. She maintains that she's not. I don't know her history like that. I'm not an expert on whether or not she is or she isn't. It all just seems very mean-spirited. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I think the way that Candace runs her show and runs her life and runs her media business is, this is for the people to know. This is, you know, it's in the name of investigative journalism. I'm all for investigative journalism. But, you know, I really believe that she crosses a line, and it's always about just, you know, putting one toe over the line, then she puts a foot over the line, then she puts a leg over the line, and then she's, you know, just doing like a whole victory dance over the line. And it just gets to the point where how much of this is just trying to incite a mob against this person, the First Lady of France, and how much of this is really for the sake of investigative journalism.
Well, weren't Republicans always saying things about Michelle Obama, too?
Yeah, you're right.
This is that, and Candace strikes me as the kind of person, very sad, very desperate, didn't get enough attention or affection when she was young, and will seemingly do anything to get people to notice her. Oh, we've noticed you all right. We're keeping track.
I mean, I think that's, we talk about, what is media, what is investigative journalism, and what's hate speech. What's, if you're inciting, people to come to terms and raise up arms, like what is the point of saying somebody is transgender? What is the point of saying that he was part of some CIA cover up? Like what are you getting out of this? I mean, yes, she's getting money obviously because people are subscribing to her podcast. And those people need to be looked at too because they're just as crazy as she is. But, again, we talk about, we look at stuff that's happening now in our media and people's shows getting canceled and people's, getting taken off the air for suspectively no reason, but yet we still have things like this happening. So where do we draw the line? What is media? What is hate speech? What's investigation? What's journalism? She's
not only, and I don't want to get too far into the weeds with this with her because, she goes down a lot of different rabbit holes with this, but she's not only saying that the First Lady of France is transgendered, but she's saying that the powers that control the world put Emmanuel Macron in power knowing full well that Brigitte Macron was transgendered because they serve some kind of nefarious agenda that has to put a transgendered person into the halls of power to serve their dark agenda on religious grounds because they have some kind of crazy world. It's all just crazy.
It's crazy because she doesn't have any power. She's the first lady.
Exactly. So it's this whole worldview that, that there are these dark forces, evil forces running the world that are invested in making sure that this secret never gets out. And now that it's out, they have to, wrestle, Candace Owens. It's crazy and it's upsetting, for transgendered people and for the general public that don't want to see this.
The dark forces of the world put the Mango Mussolini into power. So,
exactly.
that's the dark forces.
That's
of the world.
for sure.
And the only agenda that's nefarious is Candace's.
Yeah,
for sure. 100%. I agree.
Pick on somebody your own size.
In your own country.
In your own country.
Right.
And that is a big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.